Hello friends, welcome to Korean language learning course. From this lesson onward, I'm going to explain use of present, past and future tense in Korean language. This topic is going to take a lot of time, so I'm only explaining simple and continuous present tense. I will take the topic of present perfect tense in next lesson when I will be explaining past tense since it will use the same markers. The present tense is quite simple and we have already been using it in earlier lessons, so I won't take long to explain that. It is simply connecting verb root to PM Nida or Ayo Oyo, depending upon light vowel or heavy vowel concept. Though I have explained it already in earlier lesson, but I am going to brief it once again here before I proceed further.
The light vowels consist of A, Ya, O, Yo. The heavy vowels consist of O, Yo, U, U, E. Now the concept of casual verb endings are purely based upon this principle. Verb root with light vowels will connect to A plus Yo. Verb root with heavy vowels will connect to O plus Yo. If the verb root ends with A, then A plus A will remain A. Example, khada. That is ka plus A plus yo, which becomes khayo. In case there's another vowel, then it either remains separate or can be combined if those two vowels make any diphthong. For example, poda. O plus A plus yo, poayo or bhayo. Same goes with the verb roots with heavy vowels. Example, juda. Ju plus O plus yo. Ju or yo. Joyo.
Now using this concept, we are going to make some sentences in present tense. I assume here that you are now also familiar with the concept of irregular verbs since I have already explained them in previous lessons. Simple present tenses: 저는 학교에 갑니다. I go to school. 저는 학교에서 공부를 합니다. I study in school. Now in first sentence, particle A is attached with school. However, in second sentence, particle eso is attached with the school. This is important concept. When we talk about location only, we always use the particle A. However, when there is an action attached with the location, particle eso will be used with location. Let's make another sentence in similar form. Also remember that A is always or at least mostly followed by the verb 있다. 제 열쇠가 가방에 있습니다. My key is in the bag. 저는 가방에서 열쇠를 꺼냅니다. I take my keys out of bag. I guess it is very clear now. Since we have talked about locations, let me explain very quickly all the direction markers and location markers as we are going to use them frequently in next lessons. 왼쪽, left. 오른쪽, right. 가운데, center. up, front. 뒤, back. 똑바로, straight. 안, 내, inside or within. 밖, 외, outside. 외 is also used for apart or except. So the sentence 제 열쇠가 가방에 있습니다 can also be said as 제 열쇠가 가방 안에 있습니다. My key is inside the bag. Sometimes the present tense is also used for future tense depending upon the context and situation. For example, 저는 학교에 갑니다. I go to school. If you add the word 내일, that means tomorrow, to the same sentence, it will become future tense. 저는 내일 학교에 갑니다. I go to school tomorrow. Or if you look from the point of view of English language, the right expression is I am going to school tomorrow. In English also, such expressions do exist. Second situation is the context of an ongoing conversation. 내일 무엇을 합니까? What will you do tomorrow? 학교에 갑니다. I will go to school. Also note that in Korean language, you can make a sentence without using subject as it is also understood from the context. Same goes in Hindi also. However, in English language, you can never make a sentence without subject. Also note that in Korean language, only the verb has to be in the ending. Other parts of the sentence can be rearranged in many situations. Since each part of a sentence has a particle attached to it, the meaning will remain the same even if it is rearranged. Now let's make some negative sentences in the present simple tense. There are two ways of making negative sentences. Put the negative marker an before the verb or attach the negation ji 않습니다 or ji 않아요 with the verb root. For example, 저는 학교에 안 갑니다. 저는 학교에 안 가요. 저는 학교에 가지 않습니다. 저는 학교에 가지 않아요. I do not go to school or I am not going to school. Now let's move on to the present continuous tense. Earlier we have seen that present simple tense is also used to indicate present continuous tense sometimes. However, present continuous tense has its own marker as well, which is go 있습니다. Let's make some sentences using that. 저는 학교에 가고 있습니다. I'm going to school. 저는 저녁을 먹고 있습니다. I'm having my dinner. 아침 식사, 점심 식사, and 저녁 식사 are breakfast, lunch, and dinner. However, in short, they're used as 아침, 점심, and 저녁. Let's try making some negative sentences using 고 있다. 저는 일을 안 하고 있습니다. 저는 일을 하고 있지 않습니다. Now note that go 있다, when it is attached to the verb root, 있다 becomes the final verb, and so any marker will attach with 있다, since go is already attached with the main verb root of the sentence. Now in next chapter we are going to study the most difficult usage in Korean language, which is the past tense. We'll learn it from the very basic, and you will need to learn it well from the scratch, since it grows more complicated in later stages. So stay connected and do not forget to send your queries as well as your suggestions. Take care. Thank you.